I call this regular meeting of the Comal ISD Board of Trustees to order at 7 p.m. on May 28, 2026. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551.071 through 551.089. Good evening, board members, district staff, and members of the audience. We will begin this meeting as we do every meeting, and you are free to join me in standing as Mr. David Krasinski leads us in a word of prayer along with the Pledge of Allegiance and the pledge to the Texas flag.
Please bow your heads if you so choose. Dear Lord, thank you for bringing us here today. As we see one of our trustees leave us and bring a new one on, we want to ask you for guidance and your hands over him as we embrace him as a fellow trustee. Please also look out over all of our students who are on summer break, and that they have safe travels to wherever they go to and from. We look for your guidance throughout the rest of this meeting. In your name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
As a district, we dedicate all our efforts and resources to our motto, Growing Greatness. The board uses this motto to guide all deliberations, decisions, and actions. You'll get to see all deliberations, decisions, and actions of the board in open session, with the exception of some items which may be discussed in closed session, as stipulated in the Texas Government Code Section 551, commonly known as the Open Meetings Law. These items typically deal with personnel matters, consultation with our attorney, and real estate. For the record, the board members present are David Krasinski, Amanda Jones, Russ Garner, Victor Reyna, Amy Shaw, and myself, Courtney Biasotti. We constitute a quorum and may conduct business on behalf of the district. Before moving on to the next agenda item, I'd like to remind you that the board will accept comments from citizens of the district and from district employees. Persons who wish to speak during public comment audience participation must have completed a form for this purpose and placed it in the designated location prior to the opening of the meeting. When the board addresses agenda item number 6, public comment audience participation, you'll be invited to the podium to speak to the board. Our first agenda item of the evening is item number 2, oath of office. I will turn it over to Ms. Christina Eckert.
Good evening, President Biasotti, board members, and Dr. Chapman. Tonight we will be administering the oath of office to our newly elected and re-elected Board of Trustees. Mr. Victor Reyna, Single Member District 3, and Mr. Russ Garner, Single Member District 4. To administer the oath of office for each trustee this evening, we have with us Her Honor Comal County Judge Kristen Hoyt.
The next agenda item is number 3, board recognition. I will turn it over to Ms. Christina Eckert.
Good evening again, Madam President, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Chapman. We are excited to share recognitions with you this evening. We appreciate the students, the parents, the family, and the friends who are here with us to recognize these students. We do want parents to know that you will have the opportunity after every recognition to take some photos. Thank you. So we're going to begin by recognizing National Merit finalists and scholars this evening. This year, Comal ISD has 3 National Merit finalists and 1 National Merit scholar. So a finalist actually becomes a scholar once they're matched with a National Merit Scholarship. Of the 15,000 finalists nationwide, fewer than 8,000 actually become scholars. Our scholar has been offered a $2,500 scholarship supported by the National Merit Scholarship Corporation. Our finalists are still in the scholarship matching process, which is going to continue through this summer. So our first recognized person tonight, Russell Flournoy from Memorial Early College High School, National Merit finalist. He will attend Texas State University. Xavier Reinhardt from Canyon High School, a National Merit finalist, will attend Texas A&M University. Keshav Singh, Hill Country College Preparatory High School, National Merit finalist, will attend the University of Texas at Austin. Next, we were going to honor Smithson Valley High School CTE students who competed in the Skills USA Medical Health Professionals State Championship. These 3 students earned top spots in the state and advanced to the national competition, which will take place this summer. You just saw Clarissa Wallace. She defended her state title. She earned first place for the 3rd consecutive year in practical nursing. One side note, Clarissa has earned $30,000 in scholarships at these competitions for the past 3 years. She's going to earn her nursing degree and become an emergency room nurse. So, congratulations. Isabella Montalvo, Smithson Valley High School, 3rd place medical assisting. And Aspen Murphy earned first place in basic healthcare skills. Smithson Valley High School CTE health science teacher is Dr. Jennifer Carrillo. Next, we're going to honor several first-time state championship athletic teams. All 3 teams made history for their campuses and for the district, 2 state champion soccer teams, and another golf state champion team. So we're going to start with Smithson Valley High School, the girls soccer team, which won the UIL 5A state championship on April 10th, beating Prosper Walnut Grove 1-0 in overtime. One reporter called the season perfection, with the Rangers finishing this year undefeated, with 29 wins and no losses. Representing the team tonight, Morgan Heinz. Emma Perez. Tyler Botcher. And Addison Briscoe. Assistant coach, Shauna Douglas. And head girls soccer coach, Jason Atkins, who also was just recently named the Express News Girls Soccer Coach of the Year. Congratulations. Our next team that we're honoring tonight is the Piper High School boys soccer team, which also won the 5A state title, defeating Frisco Wakeland 1-0. Now, the Warriors' win was considered the biggest upset in state finals history, but they just didn't know how good the Piper boys were. So, Piper finished the season 21-2-5. They become the first boys soccer team from the greater San Antonio area to win the UIL state title in 4 years. Representing the team tonight, Parker Adkins. Cooper Adkins. Nolan Masker. Matthew Randall. And Landon Villarreal. Along with the assistant boys soccer coach, Danny Gomez. Congratulations. Congratulations. Switching sports, we turn to the first state championship girls golf team from Piper High School. The team shot 2-round total of 596 to claim the 5A UIL state championship by 7 shots. Representing the team this evening, Peyton Junick. Madison Fisher. Jules Mahan. And assistant girls golf coach, Robert Gomez. Congratulations, ladies. Next, we'd like to honor several coaches who earned milestone wins during this past season. We begin with head girls soccer coach at Canyon Lake High School, Kara Strassner, who earned her 200th career win on February 27th. Kara also teaches art and has been coaching for 24 years, teaching for 21 years. She was named the 2024 Texas Association of Soccer Coaches Region 4 Coach of the Year, also the 2024 Texas High School Coaches Association Region 4 Coach of the Year. Congratulations. Okay. Congratulations. Our next honoree is Davenport High School's head baseball coach, Dennis Schluter, who earned his 300th career win on April 17th. He's been teaching and coaching for 24 years. He currently teaches PE and AVID. Throughout his career, some of the highlights: he's been selected to coach in the San Antonio All-Star Game, named an All-Star coach twice, and selected as a finalist for the San Antonio Express News Coach of the Year. Congratulations. He is right there? Okay. The next honoree, who you've already seen tonight, Smithson Valley head girls soccer coach, Jason Adkins. He earned his 400th career win on March 31st. He's currently teaching world history at Smithson Valley. He's been coaching and teaching for 25 years. He served as the head girls soccer coach for 24 at Smithson Valley. And he, as we said, was most recently named the Express News Girls Soccer Coach of the Year. Congratulations. Congratulations. Now we're going to honor some of our Winter Guard teams. We're going to begin with the second place Winter Guard team at the Texas Educational Color Guard Association North Championship from Canyon Lake High School. Representing the team tonight, Lane Letty, Ashlyn Hayward, Riley Andres, and Charlotte Olivares. Under the direction of band director Ed Gonzalez. Yes. Two Winter Guard teams from Smithson Valley High School received top honors at the Texas Color Guard Circuit competition, with the junior varsity team winning gold at the West Championship and the varsity team winning bronze at the state championship. Representing the junior varsity team tonight is Cadence Zigmont. Color Guard and Assistant Band Director Robert Andrade. Okay, you'll be back, yes. And Scott Duncan, the Director of Bands. And representing the varsity team tonight, Autumn Guerrero. Dalen Blake. Rebecca Schneider. Smithson Valley High School Color Guard Assistant Director Samantha Grodzinski. Yes. And Color Guard and Assistant Band Director Robert Andrade. And Director of Band Scott Duncan. Congratulations. Our next honoree earns the highest honor from the annual State Visual Art Scholastic event known as VASE. Her entry received the competition's prestigious Gold Seal Award, given to just a small fraction of the thousands of top state qualifying works. Her piece, Golden Summer, was recognized for its technical mastery and storytelling, marking her as one of the premier young artists in Texas. Golden Summer will join the VASE Gold Seal exhibition, which will travel across Texas to showcase the best of student creativity. Congratulations tonight to Kay Ikeyata. The Memorial Early College Art High School teacher is Lynn Odom. Congratulations. Now we'd like to honor students who earned the Texas Theater Scholar Distinction for the 2025-2026 school year. This honor is presented by the Texas Thespians and recognizes young artists who excel in both the classroom and on the stage. To earn this title, students must maintain a cumulative GPA of 3.0, remain in good standing with their theater department, and demonstrate character that brings honor to their community. This year's honorees include Kaylin Wheeler from Canyon High School. Jasiel Rosario Matias from Piper High School. I'm going to apologize really quick. I forgot to introduce teachers. I'm so sorry. Theater teacher Emily Johnson from Piper High School. You're on the next page, right? Okay. You're with this group also?
Kaylin's art.
Okay, we're just going to keep recognizing folks because we're super excited about the recognitions. Starla Sapinski from Canyon High School. Ryan Raymond from Canyon High School. Okay, now all of this year's honorees. We would love to have you. Okay. Awesome. Our final honor this evening is recognizing the 18 theater instructors from across the district who were instrumental in the district's 4th consecutive receipt of the Texas Thespian Premier Communities for Theater Education Award. We begin tonight with Tony Hankey from Smithson Valley High School. Kelly Menz from Smithson Valley Middle School. Ryan Ramon from Canyon High School. Starla Sapinski from Canyon High School. And Emily Johnson from Piper High School. And we'd like to have 2 of our support services staff join them as well. We would like to have our Coordinator of Fine Arts, Jay Martin, be recognized for their leadership, and Director of Fine Arts, Gary Cooper. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations. And that concludes our recognitions tonight.
All right, before moving on to the next agenda item, I'd like to remind you that the board will accept comments from citizens of the district and from district employees. Persons who wish to speak during public comment audience participation must have completed a form for this purpose and placed it in the designated location prior to the opening of the meeting. When the board addresses agenda item 6, public comment audience participation, you'll be invited to the podium to speak to the board. The next agenda item is number 4, closed session, as authorized under Texas Government Code, including but not limited to section 551.071, 551.074, 551.082, 551.0822, and 551.089. Item 4A, pursuant to section 551.074 of the Texas Government Code, discussion and possible reorganization of the board. Audience members are welcome to remain in the boardroom as board members recess for deliberations. The time is now 7:36 p.m. We are back on the record in open session, having returned from closed session. The time is now 7:49. The next item is 5A, consideration and possible action to reorganize the school board. I will turn it over to Dr. Chapman.
Thank you, Ms. Biasotti. Are there any nominations for board president?
I nominate Courtney Biasotti for president of the Comal ISD Board of Trustees.
I make the motion the nominations cease.
I second the motion.
All those in favor of Courtney Biasotti for board president, please raise your hand. Opposed, same sign, motion carries. With a motion of 6 in favor and 0 nays, I declare Courtney Biasotti elected president for the 26-27 Comal ISD Board of Trustees. President.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Are there any nominations for vice president?
I nominate Russ Garner for vice president of the Comal ISD Board of Trustees.
I make the motion nomination cease.
I second the nomination.
All those in favor for Russ Garner for vice president? With 6 yeses and 0 nays, I declare Russ Garner elected as the vice president of the 2026-27 Comal ISD Board of Trustees. Are there any nominations for board secretary?
I nominate Mr. David Krasinski for secretary for of Comal ISD Board of Trustees.
I make the motion nominations cease.
I second the motion.
All those in favor of Russ David Krasinski for secretary? It's a new person. With 6 yeses and 0 nays, I declare David Krasinski elected as secretary for the 2026-27 Comal ISD Board of Trustees. Congratulations. The next item on the agenda is number 6, public comment audience participation. Persons who wish to speak during public comment audience participation must have completed a form for this purpose and placed it in the designated location prior to the opening of the meeting. Ms. Comstock, do we have any requests for public comment audience participation? All right. Before we begin, I will remind our audience members of the board's procedure for handling public comment audience participation. Anyone interested to speak in person during public comment audience participation must have completed a form and listed the topic they wish to discuss prior to the start of the meeting. Each speaker will be allowed to speak once during public comment audience participation and will be allowed a maximum of 3 minutes to address the board dictated by board policy BED local. Because the board wants to hear from as many of you as possible, while also keeping the meeting running efficiently, groups of more than 5 people who want to present a particular viewpoint on a topic should appoint one person to speak on behalf of their group. Please remember that the board cannot deliberate on any subject that is not included on the agenda for this meeting. Board members will listen to comments but will not respond or answer questions. We also ask that you do not discuss students who are not your own. The timer will be shown on the screen in front of you and will begin when you arrive at the microphone to speak. Again, the speaker's presentation will be limited to 3 minutes. Our first speaker will be Ms. Samantha Elbel.
Before I get started, can I pass something out real quick? Okay. Good evening. My name is Samantha Elbel, and I have lived in Garden Ridge since 1993. I went to Comal Elementary and graduated from Canyon High School. Today, I speak deeply as a concerned parent of Comal ISD's decision to eliminate tuition-based pre-kindergarten programs, which have left working families, including mine, in a difficult position. In an effort to understand this decision, I spoke with Ms. Jennifer Johnson, the Director of Early Education and Title I for Comal ISD. Ms. Johnson explained that Comal ISD felt guided by House Bill 2. It has chosen to phase out tuition-based pre-K immediately, starting with this upcoming school year. She shared that the district believed that the course of action was required, citing that the presence of local private providers, even though those options are limited in our area. One of being that she cited was a Tuesday through Friday program or programs that start at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. So not good for working parents. And also at-home daycare. However, with Ms. Johnson's explanation, it is in direct contrast to the information I received from the state officials. Further clarification from State Board Carrie Isaac's office and echoed by Representative Brad Buckley, the chairman of the House Public Education Committee and also the author of House Bill 2, made it very clear that this law does not in fact require districts to eliminate these programs immediately. Representative Buckley's office confirms that districts can, in many cases, and should, take time to evaluate the needs of families and phase out these programs gradually. As the statute allows until 27-28 school year, Senator Donna Campbell and her policy team likewise confirmed that this law does not force local districts into accelerated actions, noting that this is ultimately a decision of the local school board. From what I have learned, Comal ISD chose to accelerate the end of the tuition-based pre-K due part to capacity concerns and anticipated enrollment increases, particularly as House Bill 2 expands the eligibility for state-mandated free pre-K for children of classroom teachers. With our district being one of the fastest growing in the state, Comal ISD felt like it would not be able to accommodate both newly eligible students and tuition-based students at the same time. While this is the district's reasoning, I still believe that there are alternative solutions worth exploring. While I absolutely recognize the importance of the following the law and wholeheartedly appreciate all that our teachers do for the community, especially now, as teachers' children are being newly included in the state-mandated pre-K programs, I must ask, what about the taxpayers of Garden Ridge and the other areas of the district? Families like mine that have supported our schools for years and rely on them to reduce our children's, as a resource for our children's early education.
Thank you, Ms. Elwell. Our next speaker will be Mr. Kevin Samuelson.
Good evening. First, I want to say thank you for everything that y'all have done over the last year, all the accomplishments that have been acquired by our students and our staff. Thank you. Comal ISD speaks often about professionalism, leadership, and accountability. Now, before I continue on to read something I swore long before I ever stood at this podium, I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to the regulations of the Uniform Code of Military Justice, so help me God. My microphone was muted. I did not realize at the time that it was an opportunity. Since then, I've watched people across the country speak about being silenced, removed, muted, or restricted while addressing their government. What happened here established something important. The moment my microphone was muted, it proved that government still controls the speech of the people in the digital realm. And when it was later stated that the online record was not altered, that established something equally important. The digital public record matters. That means the issue is larger than one meeting, one district, or one person. Because if a government-controlled digital public forum exists, then constitutional protections must exist there as well. Today, I'm asking for one final piece. Accountability. If the microphone was muted because of what I was about to say, then say so. Because that statement resolves the constitutional question directly. I understand your legal counsel may advise against making such a statement because of liability concerns. In federal court, I was required to assign damages in order for the case to proceed, and I listed that harm as $1. Not because constitutional rights are worth $1, but because even the smallest acknowledgement violation of constitutional rights still matters, because that acknowledgement would help establish an important constitutional boundary, that government cannot move the public square into the digital realm while leaving the rights of the people behind. And if this case helps clarify and strengthen those protections for future Americans, then this fight was worth it. And if this district truly believes in accountability, then accountability should apply equally to government itself. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Ms. Jennifer Fay.
Can I have something for the board as well? Good evening, board members, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. Tonight, I'm going to ask the board for one thing, and that is to listen. I'm a teacher at Hill Country College Preparatory High School, and on March 30th, a student brought a gun to campus with the intent to kill his teachers and other students. Ultimately, the shooter took his own life, but not before shooting one teacher. This teacher experienced life-threatening injuries from which she will spend the rest of her life attempting to recover. Tonight, I argue that she is not the only casualty that day. From the teacher who witnessed the shooting and who was the actual target, to the other teachers the shooter intended to kill that morning, to staff attempting to keep their kids safe, and to the students who fled the building for their lives or who hid in terror. None of us have felt safe or whole since that day. The day after the shooting, district admin had us drive across the county to support services. Some of us having no keys or no car. We were told the very next day we would be reclaiming the school in which teachers were earlier hunted. And in that meeting, I saw my friends visibly panicking, gulping down fear, and they began texting me across the table. What about law enforcement? What about metal detectors? Please ask. When I spoke up and asked Dr. Chapman about metal detectors, he stated, we're not going to do that. And at that exact moment, our staff realized that we were not on the same team as district. Today, I'm here to ask you to rejoin us on the same field, on the same side. Taking up a defensive posture against the wounded creates additional organizational trauma for our staff, students, and their families, and we trust you. To earn back the trust from the teachers on this campus, I need district staff to show real, authentic support and courage. I need y'all to quit saying, we did all we could. This could have not have been prevented, or he made those threats in elementary school. Those attitudes deny accountability and set us up for future tragedies. Instead, I need you to ask, how can we do better? Trust, stability, and safety travels from the top down, and I do appreciate this morning's meeting with Dr. Chapman. This is the first step towards working together for our community. Think proactively and critically, and even if the plan isn't perfect, at least communicate that there is a plan. School starts again in 2 months. Until this morning and learning about what steps are being taken, I was incredibly anxious about returning to school in August. Silence invites speculation. So back to my ask to listen. Tonight I'm sharing with the board and Dr. Chapman a document compiled from conversations with more than 50 different people, staff, students, law enforcement, therapists, and other experts. It is a living document as I'm making continual updates, and it is imperfect, yet it can better inform decisions and your plans. These are the thoughts and ideas from people who are not worried about a potential lawsuit, but who are worried about and love our kids and our colleagues. I hope you'll choose to do the same. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next agenda item is number 7, Board President's comments. I first want to say thank you to those of you that spoke tonight. Like I say every time, I know it takes courage to get up here and share your concerns and your thoughts, and we appreciate that. I would like to just take a moment, just a few brief moments to recognize just a few things that the district has accomplished this past year. We just finished graduation, which is hands down one of our favorite celebrations of the year. I think we did some math and we shook 2,419 hands, hugged a lot of necks, and had some great conversation. It's so rewarding to see those kiddos They're so nervous right before they walk across the stage. One of them's out here with us tonight. When they come across the stage where we get to greet them, they are just, well, the girls are real nervous about falling in those heels. But when they get down to a safe level ground, they're smiling so big. Some of them have tears that you just can't help but be so excited for them. So that was a wonderful celebration. Thank you to the district for putting that on. Just a few things. Comal ISD students earned 2,543 industry-based certifications. That is incredible, but almost 100% higher than it has been in the past. The numbers are wonderful, and those we know those will continue to grow as our district grows. Our students brought home 18 team and individual state championships across athletics. Again, that's unheard of. I would challenge you to try to find a district in the state of Texas or anywhere that has done that in one year. 18 team and individual state championships. In fine arts, we had a national team grand champion in dance, second place UIL state marching band, 302 state qualifiers across the district in our arts programs. On the academic side, we got to see some of those tonight. 1 National Merit Scholar, 3 National Merit Finalists, and 17 National Merit Commended Scholars, which is phenomenal. 115 senior athletes signed letters of intent to play at the collegiate level across the district. And we had millions and millions and millions of dollars of scholarships that were awarded to our seniors this year. I know those numbers are still being compiled, but a lot of scholarships. And without all of that being said, we could not do what we do as a district without the support of you guys and the staff and everything that you have put in place, the expectations that our teachers have, our coaches have, each other's peers have. And so I just want to say thank you from the board for all those wonderful accolades that I just read off. And I know I missed a million of them, but those were just some that were kind of stuck out to me. So thank you. So that being said, we're going to move on to some business. Our next agenda item is number 8, Superintendent Reports and Board Information, in 8A, Comal Education Foundation Annual Update. I will turn it over to Dr. Lizette Goodlow.
Good evening, President Biasotti, Dr. Chapman, our trustees, our district leadership, and our community. Thank you for the opportunity to share our annual review of the Education Foundation. The 25-26 school year was a big year for us. Tonight, Mr. Mike Crowley and I will provide a brief overview of our impact with our grants and our programs, our key successes and growth, and the future vision for the foundation. This year was one of the strongest fundraising years in foundation history. Our annual golf tournament held in October of 2025 at Canyon Springs Golf Club. We hosted 40 teams and raised more than $125,000 with a net revenue of $87,500. Most excitingly, the event increased revenue by 21% over the previous year. In April, our Pros to Education event at Worst Hall welcomed 618 attendees and generated an incredible community support. That event raised $275,000 with a net revenue of $175,000, representing an impressive 160% increase in revenue. Additionally, our board demonstrated extraordinary leadership and commitment to our foundation. Our board contributed more than $25,000 in personal giving, achieving 100% of board investment, and it increased total board giving by 90%. That level of commitment shows our community that our board believes deeply in the mission of supporting Comal ISD and our students. Because of generosity of our donors and sponsors, we were able to directly invest more than $140,000 into classrooms and campuses across Comal ISD. This included one new campus grant totaling $2,500, 85 new teacher grants totaling $22,000, 37 innovation grants totaling $107,000, and 11 expertise grants totaling $8,800. These grants provide teachers with innovative tools, classroom resources, professional learning opportunities, and creative experiences that directly impact student success. Every grant awarded represents a teacher with an idea, a campus with a vision, and students who benefit from enhanced opportunities. In addition to grants, the foundation continued supporting impactful district programs and student initiatives. This year, we invested in $7,000 into Comal U, which included $2,000 in gift cards for teacher incentives to be given out during both weeks, $5,500 into the incubator program, over $37,000 into direct support to Comal ISD, $5,000 for our Janet Heckendorn Academic Recognition Banquet, $7,000 in mock interview scholarships, and $2,900 for our District of the Year, Teacher of the Year grants, which also included $50 gift cards given to each campus Teacher of the Year. In total, the foundation awarded $62,450 in support for district programs and initiatives. One highlight we are especially proud of is awarding scholarships to 13 career and technical education students through our mock interview program. And now I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Mike Crowley.
Thanks, Lizette. Trustees, Dr. Chapman, thanks for allowing us to come and go over our year in review. As incoming board president, I'm honored, really I'm blessed to continue building upon the incredible momentum created this last year. You'll know I have had some help writing this because I'm going to talk about grows and glows, and I don't talk about grows and glows in my normal life. But there are several glows that we are especially proud of. First, participation and community engagement has significantly increased. Our golf tournament sold out this last year. We introduced a new party on the green experience. And Dr. Lizette, she mentioned our pros to education, a 93% increase, and it's just incredible. Second, we expanded our community reach by developing 404 new partnerships throughout the year. This growth came through intentional outreach prospective donors. And third, the foundation remained committed to responsible stewardship by carefully monitoring expenses and prioritizing strong net revenue growth. We also continued investing in students through our programs like the mock interviews. These initiatives strengthen the bridge between education, workforce readiness, and community engagement. While we celebrate our successes, we also recognize our opportunities for continued growth. Thanks. This year, we focus on intentionally increasing foundation visibility across the district. This is a large district. I don't need to tell you guys that. We hosted Friends of the Foundation events and created a campus connection campaign that encouraged board members to engage directly with campuses during the 25-26 school year. We also focus on expanding fundraising opportunities by participating in Champions for Charity during the Valero Open and applying for larger grants, including opportunities through the GVTC Foundation. Additionally, the foundation began exploring ways to revitalize support structures that better serve the evolving needs of our district through innovative, focused initiatives. These efforts are helping position the foundation for sustainable long-term growth. As we look ahead, got it? Our priorities center around three major focus areas. First, we will focus on strengthening board engagement and leadership capacity by establishing board-led committees and empowering board members to serve as ambassadors for CEF. Secondly, we will continue to grow the alumni network. Our goals include growing our alumni database by 1,000 contacts, launching recurring alumni touchpoints, and celebrating our first annual Hall of Honor to be held the first week of June. Finally, we will diversify and scale revenue streams to ensure sustainable growth. This includes increasing our total revenue by 35%, launching a perpetual giving campaign, and improving donor retention. These goals seem pretty ambitious because they are, but they are achievable because of the strength of our community and the partnerships and dedication of our board. Lizette?
So some key takeaways where we're asking for our community and each one of you for support and help. Open doors to connections within our community, whether that be through new businesses that are coming to our school district, new families that are coming in, or families that are currently in the district that have never interacted with us in one way, shape, or form. Today, as I went to GVTC, our Bernie Education Foundation friends were there too, receiving an award, and someone came to us and asked us about what we do. So we were both in the same space, and we said, we're kind of, when you think about PTA, but on steroids is what it is, because we support, as a PTA member, you support one school, we support the entire district, and this is a way to be involved across the district. We'd like for you to help us engage with alumni. Last year, we started with our current teachers that are alumni, along with teachers that have left our district who are alumni, and that helped us boost our alumni network to about 1,400. But our goal this year is alumni that are not in this area. So people that live in Houston or in Dallas or in other states, we'd like to connect with them. And finally, help us invest so we can make the sustained impact. We want our money not only to come from local family members, but we would like to extend that to foundation grants, to apply for some corporate grants, some money that is out there. I think we are ready and we've positioned ourselves to do so. So on behalf of our board members, thank you all for all of your support throughout the year.
All right, thank you. I will say that I had the honor of attending both large events this year, and it was such a fun time, and the numbers were very impressive. And with large numbers comes more money, and so we've seen that, right? And I feel like that you guys have done such a phenomenal job in the last 2 years of getting us on the right track, and so I thank you for that. We just assigned committees, and Ms. Comstock, I do need to give you this list, but I just wanted you to know that I enjoyed sitting on the Education Foundation, liaison for the board, but next year we're gonna have Mr. Vic Reyna and Ms. Amy Shaw will be your board representatives. So, board members, are there any questions regarding Comal Education Foundation? Mr. Garner.
Thank you, Madam President. So, Dr. Didlow, thanks for the presentation. Obviously, great momentum, so I appreciate that. Mr. Crowley, thank you for stepping up and to lead the great volunteer leadership position, right? It's a lot of hours, so I appreciate that, and I just look forward to see what the two you're going to do to team up to take it to the next level. So it's exciting. The momentum's great, and look forward into the future. So thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Shaw.
Thank you, Madam President. I would just like to congratulate you both on, and the whole board. The events, of course, are stronger than they ever have been, but what's getting me most excited is the strategy of really bringing our community together, to benefit our kids, our teachers, and public education as a whole in Comal. I love what I'm hearing about engaging alumni, both young and not so young. And I think that, I also love seeing the plan going forward. It's full of new ideas. I think there's a more purposeful board. It's not just a title. It's, okay, this is really what we need you to do. The structure and I think a real evaluation of what is going to be the most impactful for the board, for the foundation to spend its time on. So everything's just heading in the right direction. Anybody who's listened, who wants to go support a great cause and a fun cause and a cause that is moving forward in a really strong place, this is it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Jones?
Thank you, President Biasotti. Thank you to you both for not only what you've done, but what you're going to continue to bring to the table for Comal Education Foundation. You got Miss Amy Shaw excited, so that is a compliment. But I'm with her just to see the growth and to see that the work's not done, right? And to continue to move it along. I love the grows and glows. I think, that is something that is just really good to reflect on, but also to be proud of what you have accomplished. I was thankful to attend multiple Education Foundation's events. I am a part of the alumni network. I don't know what number I am, but Dr. Goodloe, you and I had a good, I'm in front of him, so. But no, I think that's a really great way. We love bringing the community together, and I think, that's what I'm seeing here. You're bringing the community together, but you're doing it for a good cause, and you're making a difference. My question to you both is, how did you kind of get the word out there more? Like, what did you find to engage with the community to see such drastic growth in both revenue and attendance? What did y'all see that worked well over the year?
Really, it's being intentional, and I think Trustee Shaw mentioned that herself, as we dug in this year and just got real intentional with our outreach, our social media. We grew the board in a way where we had put some of the right people in the right seats, and I think you all know how important that is.
Oh, perfect. Well, thank you for what you're doing. I'm excited for next year. Thank you.
All right, thank you both.
Thank you.
The next agenda item is 8B, Texas Senate Bill 546 update. I will turn it over to Ms. Jessica Fisher.
Good evening, Madam President, trustees, Dr. Chapman. Thank you for having me here tonight. That's going to be really hard to follow up, by the way. Just saying, should have gone before them. So we're going to talk a little bit about Texas Senate Bill 546 again this evening. Thanks to the ongoing support of the board and our community in the 21 and 23 bond programs, we are in a much stronger position than many of our neighboring districts because we've been making significant strides in modernizing the fleet, with newly specially equipped buses, the 71 passenger buses. So currently we have 173 buses and 10 multifunction activity buses that already meet the requirement. So again, much better position. You've seen this slide a few times. What I want to highlight here is that Texas Senate bill right now mandates that all school buses must be equipped with a 3-point seatbelt with a compliance deadline of September 1st, 2029. The graph you see here currently shows the fleet that the age and average miles of the fleet that do not meet the requirements currently. So while those buses are performing as expected for their age groups running from 2011 to 2017, Senate Bill 546 effectively shortens the useful life of these buses. Traditionally, we surplus buses at or around the 15-year mark. This goes on routes and it goes out to the campuses or spare buses, and then we surplus them. These units were going to be required to surplus a little sooner than expected with Senate Bill 546. I'm going to walk through the data on this slide a little bit and talk through where we're at, where we're going to be, and where we need to be. So currently we have 48 yellow school buses and 6 multifunction activity buses that do not meet the 3-point seatbelt requirement. We also have 8 specially equipped buses with just the lap belts, not the 3-point, but those are currently going to auction. So they're already set to leave us. When you recall, though, that the board approved a purchase of 17 buses with Bond 23 funds in February. So what that does is that brings us to 31 yellow school buses that we would have to retrofit or replace. The Transportation Administration does not recommend a retrofit. It's $43,500 per bus. The buses are almost at the end of their useful life, and that's about 50% of their original purchase price for those year groups. What we are recommending is to move forward with the replacement of these buses at an estimated cost of $6.7 million. We would plan on purchasing 3 of the multifunction activity buses as well with those funds, while CTE and athletics are actively pursuing to purchase the other 3 within their budgets currently. Now, timeline. Talked a lot about the timeline, and there's a lot of discussion in the industry right now regarding this. We're not sure if there are going to be any changes made to this, except that possibly the deadline currently, because the September 1st, 2029 deadline is going to be a little hard to meet when lead times for buses are 12 to 24 months and you have the entire state trying to order from 3 basically OEMs at this point in time. So I think we're going to struggle to see that. We are required to report to Sentinel by May 29th, 2026, tomorrow. We're going to get that done. Our total compliance numbers, our retrofit quotes, estimated replacement cost, number of buses not meeting the requirement, and the board's resolution regarding financial feasibility. So the resolution on Senate Bill 546 is on consent agenda tonight, and we have also placed buses for consideration on the bond so that we can work through that if there's no grants or funding available. This concludes my presentation for this evening. Happy to answer any questions you may have at this time.
Thank you, Ms. Fisher. Board, do we have any questions regarding Senate Bill Update 546? Mr. Garner.
Thank you, Madam President. Ms. Fisher, thank you for the presentation. So how many full-size school buses do we have that meet the requirement right now?
Full size, believe it's
73.
There are 173 total, but that's specially equipped and full
Right.
size. Yeah,
Yeah, and so,
that's in the entire, between both of them.
right, so we're 70%, 75% there.
Yes.
And you'd say the surrounding districts are much lower percentage-wise?
Much lower percentage-wise. We
Yeah.
really did get in a much better position with 21 and 23 bond and aggressively pursuing the replacement at that time. Some fellow districts that are going to be really struggling to get there.
Right. So now I appreciate the forethought of yourself and other leaders in the district to get us to this good position, and obviously we're going to keep pushing. So for the buses that have the seatbelts, are the kids, do they have to wear them, and what are the rules right now, and how are we doing with that first?
So they are required to wear them by our policy and by the Student Code of Conduct. It is not enforceable by traffic, just
Right.
note that. We do really, really good with the littles. Littles, they've been in cars, seatbelts, they get on. The bigs, not quite so much. They have opinions, and they're not quite as compliant. They haven't grown up in a bus with a seatbelt, right? So I will say probably in about 7 to 10 years, it's going to be a non-issue. We do have a progressive discipline with kids that are absolutely refusing. I would say the biggest thing is you can get them to comply before you leave the school at secondary, but as soon as you're on the road, they're unbuckling. It's not like Six Flags where you can lock them in and push the button. But the littles, we do really good. The drivers love it with the littles because what was popcorn balls stay still.
Yeah. And so if it really to enforce it, you'd almost have to have a second adult on the bus at all times, like a bus monitor, right? Which is not,
We do on our students that are serving with disabilities,
Yes.
we do have bus assistants on those buses, yes, absolutely. But on the gen eds, no.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Krasinski?
Thank you, Madam President. I guess, how many, you mentioned auction, how many buses have to go to auction for us to replace a bus? I don't know what our normal cost, or our normal sale price of a bus is, but how many do we have to sell to then get a new bus?
We wouldn't even be close. Our buses, we put so many miles on them and really get tremendous use out of them. Usually when they're hitting the auction, they're close to the 300,000 mile mark. They're 15 years, we might get 1,500 to 3,000 on the high side for them. I think is what we did in the last auction. And as you are well aware, buses now are in the $160,000 to $170,000 mark.
Okay. And then for timeline, obviously you've got some, it doesn't seem like that's a recommendation about retrofitting because of the pure cost.
Pure cost and where you're at on the useful life of the bus.
Sure.
And that those buses, their original price point was about the $100,000 mark.
Right, but the cost of replacement is 160 now, right? So that's
Yes.
not, I hear
Yeah, but
you.
you're ending your useful life for those ones, so.
Yeah, I hear you, but it's it's a fourth of the cost now,
Yes,
right?
it is.
To retrofit. So
Absolutely.
how long does it take us to go from no seatbelts to seatbelts in a retrofit type scenario? Like, we send it off somewhere, we have somebody come in and do this work. Is it a 2-week project or is it a 2-month project?
They're saying it can average right now with the demand where it's at anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks per bus.
4 to 6 weeks per bus.
Because you have to have it done by the OEM of that bus manufacturing company. You can't outsource it to another one because of the liability on the structure of the bus.
Because you're drilling into the frame or something, correct?
Yes. Changing the structure.
Yep. Okay. You know, I can appreciate the guidance here on I think y'all's preferred path. If I look at just a cost perspective in the situation financially that we're in, that's a big difference, right?
Absolutely, and I think that, you know, the other hope that is they did add grant to the language. After they first put it out, they put grant in there. I think we're all anxiously await to see if any of that occurs as well, to offset some of those costs.
Sure. Obviously, we have some bond discussions coming up with adding some of that, and this may be a moot discussion at some point in the near future. But we're not there yet. What are the repercussions other than us not conforming to a Senate bill? Post your update tomorrow, what is the repercussion of us? Obviously, we're updating the state of Texas saying, hey, this is where we are in compliance.
Yeah.
But post that, what are the repercussions of us not having this in place, or is there any repercussion for us whatsoever?
I'm not going to be able to answer that. I'm going to hand that to Dr.
The
Chapman.
deadline is in 2029, so we've got years, ahead of us. This is a top priority on the House and Senate side in the conversations of an unfunded mandate, knowing that, as Ms. Fisher said, that many districts cannot and aren't even considering, because there's no such thing. So I don't know of a district that has not or is not passing a resolution saying we can't do this financially, and giving up some of the points that she made tonight. So I do believe there could be some grants, there could be some extensions of, and there could even be some opportunity that when you buy a new bus, it needs to have the 3-point moving forward. So there are all kinds of conversations happening on the state level, but I know for sure in the hearings that this is talked about on both sides, because they didn't realize the impact and how many couldn't, and the expense behind it.
Yeah.
And that expense has increased since now it becomes a law. Well, then there's a few companies like, let's make that now 40,000 a
prices
bus.
changed
Or,
a little
yeah.
bit,
How interesting is that? Yeah.
Okay.
So more to come, but it's 2029. I believe we're going to get some opportunities, funding opportunities, extensions of, and to your point, Ms. Fisher, depending on when and if bond passes, that'll support us.
So we have 30-ish months to
Yeah.
have a hard deadline to where this is a major problem, but this is pre-planning and some understanding around cost. Okay.
Yeah, and
Thank
2
you.
legislative sessions.
That
In
too.
2
That's a lot of change. Okay, appreciate the update. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Off of what Dr. Chapman said, why do they not come equipped as they're expected to be?
With seatbelts?
Yeah.
So, the older years, you didn't have seatbelts on buses.
Right.
It didn't exist. In 2016, they passed law that said anything you had to purchase newer from that point forward had to be purchased with seatbelts unless your board took action saying that they couldn't do that because of financial reasons. Then that district could purchase buses without seatbelts. And I will tell you, we have some neighboring districts that did that. Comal ISD did not. Everything we've purchased are from 2019 and newer has seatbelts. We didn't have any 2018s, but 2019 and newer all has seatbelts.
So you're saying you could claim that you don't have the money, and so
With the
we're gonna expense children's safety and just opt to get regular school buses with no seatbelts, but we're still within the law?
with
Not
the
we as in Comal, I know,
No,
we're- but
right.
other,
With the first language that they passed with this bill, yes.
wow.
You could, as a board, they could take action and say we couldn't financially do that because the bus price went up significantly with
Right.
seatbelts.
Okay.
And that district didn't have to buy it, but they had to do it in public session and make a vote on it.
Okay, interesting. Ms. Shaw?
Thank you, Ms. Biasotti. So I'm clear, every bus that we have has seatbelts. 173 have 3-point, 31 have 2-point, and no? And
No,
then-
ma'am.
Okay. And the multifunction ones have lap belts, but,
I'm
so
gonna
how
go
many
back
buses
for
have
you.
no seatbelts?
So right now, we have 48 yellow school buses that do not meet the 3-point, so they don't have seatbelts.
They have no seatbelts at
No
all?
seatbelts at all.
Okay.
We have 6 multifunction activity buses that have lap belts.
Lap belts.
And then we have 8 specially equipped buses that have lap belts, but those ones are already going to auction.
Okay, but we do have 173 that do have the 3-point.
173
Okay.
yellow school buses that have 3-point seatbelts and 10 multifunction activity buses that do have seatbelts.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Mr. Reyna?
Hey, thanks for answering the questions beforehand and then this, of course. So with the growth of the district, and I know we're taking the opportunity to, I'm with Courtney here, it's like, this is about child safety. I get policy, but we're talking child safety.
Yes.
Should we be looking at more school buses as we kind of move into this next phase, as we're looking at these ones that we need to upgrade now, but on the future path, should we be thinking about that?
So I do. I work on a growth and replacement plan all the time based on our growth and how we're opening schools. So growth doesn't always mean you need more school buses because as you open schools and tighten attendance zones, we can do more with less. Like that vehicle now can run 3 tiers instead of just 2 tiers. The other thing that happens for us is it creates no service zones, the walk zones, things like that every time you open a new school. So it lessens the things. Where we typically are starting to see a little bit more pressure maybe than we used to is in our real rural areas, in the lake, in the hill country areas where it's a little bit more distance for us to travel. But that's all included in what we've been doing for 21 and 23 bonds. There was growth and replacement in there and looking forward as well always. But we're in a really good place. Again, thanks to y'all and our community. I can't state enough if we hadn't gotten those through where we would be today.
All right, thank you, Ms. Fisher, and thank you for the presentation and your constant challenges that you face every day and how you do it with so much grace, so thank you.
Well, thank y'all.
We will proceed to our next agenda item, number 9, consent agenda. The consent agenda is a mechanism that the board uses to approve a number of routine items together with a single vote. In compliance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, the public notice for this meeting includes the list of all consent agenda items, and the board has been provided ample information about these items in advance. Prior to any action taken on the consent agenda, board members may request withdrawal of individual items for clarification or discussion. Board members, are there any items to be removed from the consent agenda at this time? Hearing none and seeing none, board members, do I have a motion regarding the consent agenda?
Madam President,
Mr. Garner.
I move to approve the consent agenda items as presented.
I have a motion from Mr. Garner, and I have a second from Mr. Krasinski. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, raise your hand. With a vote of 6 in favor and 0 opposed, the motion carries. There are no items to be removed from consent that need to be addressed. We will skip to item 10A and proceed. We will skip item 10A and proceed to item 10B. The next item is 10B, consideration and possible approval for increased child nutrition breakfast and lunch prices for 2026 and 2027. I will turn it over to Mr. Larry Guerra.
Thank you, President Biasotti. Good evening, Dr. Chapman and the board. So as we prepare for the upcoming school year, we're proposing an increase to the student breakfast and lunch meal prices. The increase is prompted by the annual CPI meal rate increase adjustment for inflation that is used by companies and our food service company included. The price adjustment is necessary to further present deficits in the food service budget and to ensure the continued financial stability of the program. The Texas Department of Agriculture permits a maximum increase of 10 cents per meal for each school year. The proposed change aligns with this allowable limit. It's the recommendation this evening of the superintendent and administration that the Board of Trustees approve an increase of 10 cents for the paid eligibility meals for breakfast and lunch. Under your green cover this evening, you can see the current meal prices and the proposed price with the increases for next year. So if you have any questions, I'll take them at this time.
Board, is there any discussion? Ms. Shaw?
Thank you, Madam President. Just to refresh my memory a little bit, I recall we had been losing money on what we charged versus reimbursement, and needed to catch up. And so we've had 10-cent per year increases at least last year and then proposed for this year. Where are we after this increase?
But unfortunately, it'll take several years to catch up to what the meal price costs, but this is just for the paid meals where we receive reimbursement. There's other meals that combat the loss on this one thing. So you can see there's just 3 prices that change. Everything else, a la carte meals, is where we kind of make up that difference. So this kind of helps us stabilize, but we can increase a maximum of 10 cents per year. Yes, ma'am.
President Biasotti.
Mr. Krasinski?
I move to approve an increase of 10 cents for the paid eligibility breakfast and lunch meals for 2026, 2027 as presented.
Second.
I have a motion from Mr. Krasinski and a second from Mr. Garner. Is there any further discussion? I have something to ask real quick.
Yes, ma'am.
So, as a mother that pays for elementary lunch, I mean this, like, I don't want there to be a huge increase, but would it benefit us if we did more than 10 cents across the board to get to, I know you answered Ms. Shaw's question as in we're really far behind, right? But
Yeah.
like, to get caught up, or is 10 cent the max that we can increase?
10 cents is the max that TDA allows normally. There's a program where we can apply for a bigger difference, but we'd have to go through a program, but we thought just because we hadn't increased it so much that 10 cents at this point, we can review it next year if we want to increase more.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. All those in favor, raise your hand. With a vote of 6 in favor and 0 opposed, the motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Guerra.
Thank you.
The next item is 10C, consideration and possible approval of the 2026-2027 Employee Compensation Plan. I will turn it over to Dr. Randy Davis.
Good evening, President Biasotti, Dr. Chapman, members of the board. Tonight, administration submits to you the proposed 2026-2027 compensation plan for your review and possible approval. On your computer and under the blue cover sheet is the compensation plan. This plan does make an assumption that the board will recommend a 3% salary increase for all employees based on the midpoint. However, we stand ready to pivot if the board wishes to recommend a percentage other than what is before you tonight. At this time, the superintendent and administration recommend approval of the compensation plan, including the employment, stipend, and supplemental pay schedules as presented. I will entertain any questions at this time.
Board, is there any discussion? Okay. Do I have a motion regarding this agenda item?
Madam President,
Ms. Jones.
I move to approve the compensation, employment, and stipend schedules as presented for qualifying employees.
Second.
I have a motion from Ms. Jones and a second from Mr. Reyna. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, raise your hand. With a vote of 6 in favor and 0 opposed, the motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Okay, the next agenda item is number 11, closed session as authorized under the Texas Government Code, including not limited to sections 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, 551.076, 551.082, 551.0821, 551.084, and 551.089. I'm about to read a lot of information, so just bear with me. Item 11A, pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 418.177, confidentiality of certain information relating to risk or vulnerability assessment. Information is confidential if the information is collected, assembled, or maintained by or for a governmental entity for the purpose of preventing, detecting, or investigating an act of terrorism or related criminal activity or a hostile act by a foreign adversary of the United States, and relates to an assessment by or for a governmental entity or an assessment that is maintained by a governmental entity of the risk or vulnerability of persons or property, including critical infrastructure, to an act of terrorism or related criminal activity. Item 11B, pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.0712, seek advice of attorney about matters covered by the attorney-client privilege, including consultation with Walsh Gallegos regarding legal advice and services. Item 11C, pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.074, personnel matters to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, or to hear a complaint or charge against an officer or employee, discussion regarding duties of an individual employees that work in the security operations headquarters. Item 11D, pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.076, discussion and deliberate the deployment or specific occasions for implementation of security personnel or devices, or to deliberate a security adult safety and security tour. Item 11E, pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551.0761 and 551.089, discussion and deliberate security assessments or deployments relating to information resources, technology, certain network security information, or the deployment or specific occasions for implementation of security personnel, critical infrastructure, or security devices, technology, content of the safety and security SOC tour. Item 11F, pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551.082 and 551.0821, discuss and deliberate security assessments or deployments relating to information, resources, technology, certain network security information, or the deployment or specific occasions for implementation of security personnel, critical infrastructure, or security devices. Discuss how student issues are handled, assuming they review video that includes students or particular student documents. Woo. Audience members are welcome to remain in the boardroom as board members recess for deliberation. The time is now 8:47 p.m. convening an open session, and the time is 10:26 p.m. The first Comal U session of the summer will kick off Monday, June 1st at Davenport High School at 8:30. We will hold a board workshop next Tuesday, June 2nd at 6:30, and attend the Summer Leadership Institute in San Antonio for board training the following week. Our next regular scheduled board meeting will be held on Thursday, June 26th at 7 p.m. here in the Support Services Boardroom. Ladies and gentlemen, there being no further business, the meeting is adjourned at 10:27 p.m.